History is filled with bizarre, almost unbelievable events. But what if I told you that Australia once waged war against emus and lost? Or that a town in 1518 danced itself into exhaustion and even death? And then there's the eerie case of the Mad Gasser of Mattoon, a phantom attacker who terrified an entire community. Get ready for some of the strangest historical events you've never heard of. In 1932, Australia faced a major problem. No, not an invading army or a political crisis, but emus. Yes, emus, those large, flightless birds. After World War I, Australian soldiers were given farmland in Western Australia. But soon, they found their crops under attack by an estimated 20,000 emus. The birds, having no natural predators in the area, saw the farmland as a feast and devoured crops at an alarming rate. The farmers, desperate for help, turned to the government, which sent in soldiers armed with machine guns. What followed was a war like no other. At first, the soldiers expected an easy victory. But the emus had other plans. They proved to be fast, highly coordinated, and oddly resilient. Bullets did little to stop them, and they even learned to spread out, making it difficult for machine guns to take them down. One soldier even compared them to guerrilla fighters, saying, "If we had a military division with a bullet-carrying capacity of these birds, it would face any army in the world." After several failed attempts, including one where a mounted machine gun jammed at the worst possible moment, the Australian military admitted defeat. The emus had won. The government later turned to alternative solutions, like offering bounties for emu hunting. But the Great Emu War remains a legendary and hilarious example of nature outwitting humans. Imagine waking up one day, stepping outside, and seeing an entire town dancing uncontrollably. Sounds like a festival, right? Well, what if I told you they couldn't stop, and that some of them even danced to their deaths? This was the terrifying reality of Strasbourg, France, in 1518. It all began when a woman named Frau Trophea suddenly started dancing in the streets. She danced for hours, then days. Soon, others joined in. Dozens, then hundreds. People danced until their feet bled, until their bodies gave out. Some suffered heart attacks, strokes, or simply collapsed from exhaustion. And yet, the dancing continued. Authorities were baffled. Some believed it was a curse, others thought it was a disease. In a strange attempt to cure it, they even built a stage and hired musicians, thinking that allowing people to dance it out would help. Spoiler alert, it didn't. The dancing lasted for weeks before it finally faded away. Historians still debate what caused this bizarre event. Was it mass hysteria? A case of ergot poisoning? A hallucinogenic mold found in rye bread? We may never know. But the dancing plague remains one of history's most mysterious and chilling events. Now, let's fast forward to the 1940s, to a quiet town in Illinois called Mattoon. A place where, for several nights, people were terrorized by an invisible enemy. It began in 1944, when a woman reported a strange, sweet-smelling gas seeping into her home. Moments later, she felt nauseous, dizzy, and temporarily paralyzed. Her husband rushed in, but found no intruder. Then, more reports surfaced. Residents claimed to smell the gas before feeling weak and disoriented. Some even saw a mysterious figure lurking in the darkness. Panic gripped the town, and newspapers dubbed the attacker the Mad Gasser of Mattoon. Police found no physical evidence, no footprints, no broken windows, nothing. Yet the attacks continued. Some believed it was a real criminal using chemicals to incapacitate victims. Others thought it was mass hysteria, fueled by wartime anxiety and exaggerated news reports. Then, as suddenly as it began, the attacks stopped. The Mad Gasser was never caught. No solid explanation was ever given. Was it a real person? A case of paranoia? Or something more sinister? To this day, the mystery remains unsolved. History isn't just about wars and politics. It's full of strange, baffling, and even hilarious moments like these. Which of these stories fascinated you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the strange side of history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more